Italian immigrants helped to this country, really helped make Italian food popular all around the world.
Yeah.
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's newsman,
And if you were just
Logan
joining
Crawford.
investigators, they now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're diving into a heartwarming and hilarious new children's story with Rebecca Mountain-Pazell. She has penned a book you're just going to love. It is called Ziggy, the Pig Who Loved Pasta. This delightful sequel to Piggy, the Pig Who Loved Sushi, follows the lovable pig on another culinary adventure filled with friendship, family, and a few unexpected surprises. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing books. The links are below this interview. Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you very much for having me. Happy to be here. I'm a huge fan.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm a huge fan as well, so right back at you. This is such a great story. How did you come up with the idea to write stories about a pig named Ziggy?
Well, my husband and I did for 9 years have an actual pig named Ziggy who lived in our home, and she was wonderful. And she passed away a few years ago at the ripe age of 9, which is pretty standard for a pig. And I wrote the first book, Ziggy, the Pig Who Loved Sushi, for my friend Brooke and her daughter Stella. And I was really touched by the warm response. And then I thought, there's so many more stories inside me. There's so much more I have to say. And some of the feedback I received after the first book was sushi. Ew, it's a very polarizing food. People either really love it or really don't. There seems to be no in between. And I thought, for Ziggy's next adventure, what's something everybody loves? And everyone loves Italian food. Everyone loves, and there's so many misconceptions about Italian food. In fact, my book here, in chapter 5, we talk about the difference between Italian food and Italian American food. And there are some pretty significant differences. And so really just trying to let children know that, Tostino's pizza rolls, they're delicious. They're not authentic Italian cuisine. Kids don't, no.
Exactly. They're yummy, but they're not
yummy,
authentic Italian food, that's for sure. Also wonderful about this book is there's a little romance involved as well when Ziggy meets Francesca, an Italian exchange student with a gift for cooking. That sounds like a perfect combination. Tell us about Ziggy's relationship there.
Oh gosh, well, pigs, as I know you know, are very highly intelligent animals, and in some ways even smarter than dogs. And I know you love your dogs, and pigs are even smarter than that. So,
Yep.
and pigs more, and just like animals have souls. I mean, in my religion, and I think a lot of the world's great religions, we feel animals have souls. They feel pain. They experience loss. So when Francesca comes to stay just for the summer, Ziggy is smitten instantly, and then Francesca leaves, and Ziggy mourns, and just kind of hoping children understand that who read the book know that someone you love will have to leave you one day. Count on it. It's sad.
Yeah.
But sometimes people come back, and at the end of the story, someone from Ziggy's past does come back.
Oh,
So
okay. So there is hope. Hope,
there you go.
hope trumps all, that's for
There you
sure,
go.
without a doubt. Now, Farmer John and Veronika are part of the story as well. Tell us about them.
Really, that is, as they say, Roman a Cleef. That really is my husband and myself. He's Farmer John. I'm Veronika. He's actually a lawyer, not a farmer, but I mean, the dialogue between him and me is basically. I know someone said, my gosh, your conversation, the dialogue, it sounds so natural. That's because it is.
Gotcha. Well, that's what the best writers and the best actors do is they take real life dialogue and make it their own. So you got to write what you know. So you wrote what you know and it shows, that's for sure. Talk to us about like Ziggy's mischievous spirit. Ziggy adds her own special ingredient Tell us
Hmm.
about that.
Well, we don't want to give away too much of the story, but if you believe animals or even animals have maybe a sixth sense, I think they know, and that's the whole gist of the story. Is Veronica is stressing out about a recipe contest that she really needs to win in order to get the prize money to go to Italy to meet up with Francesca again. And Ziggy decides, your recipe's good, but it needs a little something extra. What happens? Maybe it may make the day or it may make things worse. So you'll have to.
Exactly. You'll have to find out, read
There
the
you go.
book to find out for sure. Are there any lessons or values that you'd like children to take away from these books?
Absolutely, but carefully. The book is wholesome. There's no subversive discourse. I'm not trying to tell children, there's nothing. It's very straightforward. I do talk a bit about the immigration experience, which I know and people are talking a lot about that
Mhm.
nowadays. Very straightforward. I do talk in chapter 5 about Italian immigrants, the big wave of Italian immigration, and how Italian immigrants came to America. And it's very straightforward, just historical facts and how and that's what made the distinction between Italian cuisine and Italian American cuisine. And what's really interesting is that had there not been this great big wave of Italian immigrants helped to this country really helped make Italian food popular all around the world.
Yeah.
If it weren't for that, Italian food might have remained just niche, just like maybe
Hmm.
Portuguese cuisine, something delicious, but very few people have really experienced it.
Right.
But it was Italian Americans who really helps me. Well, I majored in Spanish in college, and more than 30 years ago, I was in Central America, and I saw Pizza Huts in Central America more than 30 years ago, and I thought only America could have made pizza that popular all over the world, to have a chain like Pizza Hut.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
But yeah, it's my favorite food group. Italian is number one. My favorite dish is veal parmesan or chicken
oh,
parmesan,
oh, nice.
and some
Yes.
pasta, of course, to go with
Mhm.
it. Talk to us a little bit about Ziggy's adventure with sushi, just in case people love this book and they want to expand their reading with their child a little more.
Okay, and both books did win the Mom's Choice Award, so I'm blessed to say that.
That's
And
wonderful.
thank
Congratulations.
you. And this one was heavily researched. Well, my family was military, so my family actually lived in Okinawa, off of Japan, right before I was born, and they talked a lot about their experiences there. And so I ended up graduating with my degree in Spanish literature, and briefly, I did go on to chef school too. So I have a food background and a writing background, and I always knew someday I would have to those fields would converge, and those two passions of mine would come together. And so my own pig really did enjoy eating sushi. I mean, that was one of her, she ate it right off the
Was
chop.
figuring that. Yeah.
And so I thought, that's a children's story waiting to happen. And that's how I wrote the book, again, for my friend Brooke to give to her daughter Stella, who was 6 years old at the time. And really, the book, though, more than anything, it just everything happens on a sheer coincidence. Ziggy, by accident, tries sushi. And what if she hadn't eaten sushi that day? None of this would have happened. But her love of sushi leads her to go on more and more quests and adventures to try new styles of sushi and so on. And then it all comes to a head when she actually gets to fly to Japan. And so a little more fantasy and adventure in that first book. The second book's a little more grounded in reality, but yeah, I hope both in regardless. The books are popular so far. My beta readers of all ages have said there's really a lot to learn there. And they learn to, and if people can learn a little bit more about cuisine, teaching culture and history through food, because everyone likes to eat.
Yep.
Everyone likes to eat.
Exactly. Exactly. Have you envisioned this Ziggy series as perhaps a TV series or something?
Hmm. Your lips to God's ears.
Exactly. My lips to Hollywood's ear.
Thank
Hollywood, here's a beautiful
you.
children's storybook that's ready to go. Yeah.
Thank you. What a question. Well, movies like Babe that actually use live action pigs. I
Yeah.
mean, pigs are very smart, but they're also very stubborn. Their problem with pigs is, and I'm speaking as a former pig owner, they're prey animals, which means they're scared of everything. But they're very large. They can get up to 200 pounds. Now, a 200-pound anything that's scared is scary. That's going to scare
Yeah.
you too. So they're hard to work with. They're stubborn. Probably, I think it would. Actually, I have to give a shout out to my niece-in-law, Caitlin, my nephew's wife, did all the artwork in here. She is
Okay,
beautifully illustrated.
wonderful.
She did everything. There was no AI. She did everything by hand. She's a very talented artist with a degree in fine arts. And so she did a wonderful job capturing Ziggy's expressions, and she worked with me beautifully. And she and I just work together so well. And there is going to be a third book called Ziggy, the Pig Who Loved Nachos. And this time the action moves to my home state of Texas. And because
Wonderful.
nachos are a wonderful food, they're neither Mexican, nor are they Texan, they're both. They're, if anything
Mhm.
can be called a Tex-Mex food, it is the great dish that we know as nachos. And the story of how nachos began really is just a wonderful American story.
Right.
And I really just think, again, I hope this will be the third and final book, but I really hope people understand again how, just my gosh, how amazing animals are.
Yeah. And
And
Ziggy's also working as a great cultural ambassador by
thank you.
introducing us to different cultures. I mean, food and culture are so closely intertwined, right?
Mhm. Absolutely. Like we learned in chef school, there was a great French gastronome named Jean Antel Bria Savarin, who said, I'm sure I slaughtered his name. My French isn't very good. And he said famously, if you tell me what you eat, then I'll tell you who you are.
Ah,
And I think the truer words have never been spoken.
yeah.
And also, too, in the intro to my book, there's a quote by Federico Fellini. And I don't think anyone could. This is just perfect when Federico Fellini said, "Life is a combination of magic and pasta." And I
Mhm.
think that's just beautiful. And that's why I chose that quote as the intro to my book. And
Wonderful.
I also dedicated this book to, it says on this page, for Grant R. Sanderson of the 10th Mountain Division, Northern Italy, World War II. He was my seventh and eighth grade science teacher. He was a World War II veteran who actually parachuted into Italy, and he talked a lot about his experiences during World War II. He kept it age appropriate, but he did say an awful lot. I learned so much from him, and I could tell. I mean, he was barely 18 years old, when he
Mm,
fought World War II, and just so I
mm,
have so much respect for him and I'm an Army child myself. My father was a lifelong career Army man, so I have so much respect, and that's why there's a chapter in the Ziggy Pasta book too that talks about there's the chapter called The Family Mystery that talks about Francesca, talks about her own grandfather's experiences as a child during World War II when the American soldiers came. And there's a family mystery because Farmer John's uncle was also in that same part of Italy as where Francesca's family lived, and their families may or may not have had a wartime connection all those years ago. And so, thanks to Ziggy, the readers may or may not unlock the mystery of it all.
yeah.
Did these two families have a connection? It's a family mystery. If you read the book
Yeah.
carefully, I've left enough cryptic clues to where you can solve it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, you're introducing the children and families to a lot of different aspects and a lot of different levels and layers there, which I think is terrific. And I know you say you're stopping at book three, but if the audience demands it, I know you could come up with Ziggy the pig who loved pancakes or Ziggy the pig who loved pizza. This is really endless, right? Or
That
loves
is,
croissants. You can
there
send
you go.
Ziggy to France, right? Have a little cup of cafe au
There
lait
you
and
go.
a croissant. There you go.
There you go.
Wonderful, wonderful. I guess you had fun uh, crafting these books, collaborating with family to do the pictures. This is
Mhm.
really a labor of love, right?
Absolutely. It was a love of love. I know, of course, when people say labor of love, no, it never felt like work. It was just, even when I had the writer's block, which is, it happens, writer's
Yep.
block. It's formidable. And some of my friends who are writers say, well, how do you get over it? Well, you don't, just type anyway, even
Just
if
plow
it's
through. That's what I just say.
absolutely
Type anything.
anything. You
Type
can always fix
anything
it.
until it starts making sense, and you can always like get rid of it
Absolutely.
easily enough. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
what
What?
one quirk I have, it always helps me. It sounds crazy, but I swear by it. I get up and wash my hands and then come back.
Okay.
If I'm stuck, if something
Yeah.
is really troubling, get up,
Yeah.
wash my hands, and then come back. And I swear that
That works. Okay, I'll have to try that next time. I'll have the cleanest hands in show business, which will be nice. I would need that. And I think that's great advice. Well, these books are great, folks. You're going to love them. We have
Thank
Ziggy, the
you.
pig who loved pasta, and Ziggy, the pig who loved sushi. The story about Ziggy and the pasta, it's a deliciously heartwarming story about love, laughter, and the power of friendship. Proof that sometimes a little mischief can lead to the sweetest memories. It's the perfect recipe for joy and imagination. Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us here
Thank you so
today.
much. It's been a wonderful pleasure. Thank you so much.
It's been a great pleasure having you on the show as well. I appreciate the great work you've done on these books. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time.